Hey everyone, my name is Tamika and I am a newly licensed real estate agent in the state of Florida. I am going to show you how I passed my state exam on the first try while working a 9 to 5. So if you are interested to find out all the tips and tricks I used to pass the exam, stay tuned. I knew real estate was the path that I wanted to take, but I could not quit my job. So I had to get very strategic about how I was going to balance. Many schools offer both online classes and in-person classes. I chose to do in-person classes because I knew that that would limit the distractions. Also, I could network and bounce ideas off of my other classmates. Attending the classes in person also adds a level of accountability. We are required to do 63 hours of pre-licensing education. Now, if you miss even one class, you are going to miss a huge chunk of that time. And so to keep me accountable, I made sure to go to all the classes. As soon as class started, I applied for my state license and I did my fingerprints. Why? Because the state normally takes between 30 and 90 days to approve your license or your application. When that happens, if you apply later on, even after the course is finished, there will be too much of a gap between when you end the course and when you are to sit the state exam. This is key. You want to schedule the state exam as close as possible to when you finish the course. Why? Because you want to make sure that the information is fresh in your mind when you take the test. If you do not schedule the exam close to when you finish the course, you risk forgetting the information and you risk failing. Statistically, persons who wait more than 6 weeks after finishing their pre-licensing course to take the state exam end up failing. And we don't want that at all. So try and schedule your exam as close as possible to when you finish the course. Obviously, if you don't feel ready, then schedule it a little bit away from the time that you finish the course, but no more than, I would say, a month, no more than that. The next thing that I did was to download all the material that my school provided. I did my pre-licensing course with Gold Coast Schools, and I was very pleased with their program and everything that they did to help me pass the exam. Gold Coast provided me with a formula cheat sheet and a state exam breakdown. Listen up. The state exam breakdown is key. Why? Because it will tell you what is coming on the test. It will also have the breakdown of how much of that topic is covered on the exam. For example, a topic may carry 12% of the questions versus another topic that only carries 2. Now, if a topic only carries 2%, I am not going to stress my time and myself studying that topic. I will look at it. I am going to focus on the topic that carries more questions on the exam. Another thing that I did while I was studying is to read the textbook multiple times. I think I read the textbook about 2 to 3 times. Now, I had a lot of time in the week because my classes were on the weekends, but the repetition was very helpful. If you can go over the textbook and focus on the areas that you know are weighted on the exam, then that would be very, very good. Definitions and formulas. You can't pass the exam without knowing the definitions and knowing the formulas. A lot of what you will be tested on is tested from your memory. So you have to focus on definitions and formulas. You need to know the formulas and practice the math questions, and you need to quiz yourself on the definition. To help me study the definitions, I used YouTube. Shout out to D. Kumar because he and his quizzes had me on it. Okay, let me tell you, when I was driving to work, from work, just running errands, I would have his YouTube channel playing and he would go through the definitions. That was so helpful. Definitely, I will link his channel in the description and I will put a screenshot somewhere on the screen so that you guys can go over to his channel. And if you have another one, share it in the comments. I will link his information, but his quizzes were super helpful. Another tool that I used was ChatGPT. ChatGPT. Whenever I was having an issue with a particular topic, especially the math questions, I would basically make ChatGPT into my tutor. I would either screenshot the question and send it to ChatGPT and ask them to show me how it is worked out, or I would ask the software to explain the topic to me as if I were a 5-year-old, because sometimes you have to have things broken down for you to understand it. And those two tools were like my secret weapons. So definitely give them a try and let me know if those worked for you. So I mentioned this already, but I'm going to mention it again. If you have time between when your course ends and when you are going to sit your exam, do not stop studying. Keep studying. Pick up the book at least once a day, even if it's for 30 minutes, and do something. Either read, go over your definitions, or do some practice tests. I did not stop studying. Every free moment I had, I was studying. I gave up my weekends because sacrifices had to be made. When we have a goal to achieve, we got to get it done. So that is the mindset that you need to have going into this exam. You're going to pass, you're going to do well. If you have to say some affirmations, say some affirmations. If you have to brainwash yourself, I don't care what you have to do, but you have to fix your mindset because that's the only way this is going to work. Now, towards the end of the study period, I did the test and some of the results were not good at all. I'll put them on the screen, but they were not good. And
when I was editing this video, I realized that I forgot to say that when I was doing the practice test, I would do one test per hour. The exam gives you 3 hours. So if I could do a test in 1 hour and get a high enough mark, I know that I would be able to do the exam comfortably in three. Put away your phone, limit all distractions, and really focus on the test. When you are finished the test, you need to go back through the answers that you got incorrect and focus on
I was
reinforcing those
wondering, oh my
areas.
gosh, what am I doing? But I never gave up. I never gave up. And that's why the mindset is so important. Because if you do work hard, it will pay off. So please don't give up. Keep studying and keep your mind active. Keep your mind in a positive place. It will pay off. Now, we are at exam day. Arrive early so that you can get your instructions and get situated. Take some deep breaths. Make sure to stay calm. When you are ready to sit the exam, These tips are super important. You are going to read every question at least twice. You're going to take note of every single word, and you are going to underline certain trigger words such as not, except, and etc. There will be words in there trying to trick you. That is the whole point of the exam. They will try and trick you. So you have to be able to use your reasoning and guessing ability to find the best answer. If you come across a question that you do not know the answer to, you are going to flag it. You flag it, and then at the end of the test, you go back to that question and you try and figure it out. Once you enter your answers, do not second guess yourself. Just move on. Only change your answer if you are 100% sure that the answer you had before is incorrect and the one you're about to put is correct. Other than that, just leave it how it is. Statistically, your first answer is the right answer, usually. If you have done everything correctly in terms of your preparation, then your first answer should be the right answer. Leave it. If you get stuck, the answer is on the page. That's the good thing. We know the answer is on the page. So you're going to reason and you're going to eliminate the answers that just don't make any sense. Then you boil it down to two answers. When you're at two answers, this is where you need to use your reasoning ability and figure out which answer is the correct one. If you still cannot figure it out, then see your way through. Yep, that's the plan. See your way. Just put C and keep it moving. Basically, these are all the tips I used to pass my real estate exam on the first try. And I know that you can do it if I could do it. Overall, you want to be calm, you want to take deep breaths, and you want to be collected because I'm not going to lie, it's hard. But if you do everything that I've told you, you should pass the exam with flying colors. So let me know in the comments if these tips actually helped you, or if you have any other suggestions for your fellow test takers, put them in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.